So I don't have mom guilt. How far are you from here? 25 minutes. Yeah. Even yesterday when I was coming to your event, I got pulled over too, and there was a 45 minute traffic light. Friday, don't work on 6 English channels. Yeah. Highway is oh, wait, so what happened was that fucking I just could not take the exit so I had to go on the solid Wi-Fi to merge into it and take the exit. And so we were like, then I took the road
Sorry, I'm busy getting a morning TED Talk.
and he said, I'm going to let you go this time. Thank you.
There is yeah, nice. Yeah, nice idea. How's it going? Good mood? Happy. You have a little bit more intimate circle. You want a hug or good? Okay, good. Hi, how are you, ladies? Rob?
My name's
Yan? Yeah, Rob, good to meet you. This is Heather. What's up, sister? Hey, how are you? Good. See you.
How are the kiddos? This weekend, so you get a break, right? Yeah. That's good. You guys planning something this weekend? The kids are okay, so.
No, I have like my work, one of my jobs, I work for an au pair agency. So I'm doing an event for the au pairs in my group.
So you have an au pair agency?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's your business?
No, it's not my business. I'm an area director, so it's kind of like an independent contractor. I support the au pairs in a certain area, and so I have what they call clusters. So I have like 16 of them coming over to my house tomorrow for an event. Consultation.
We used to come in house.
I know, and I didn't expect that really because it's hit or miss whether they come to me. I do an event every month, and I never know when anyone's show up or not. And then this month, a whole bunch of them. So it'll be great.
We used to have an au pair in our group. She's from Hungary. And she's there.
Hey. What's up? Hey. Good to see you. Welcome.
I know. Sorry, y'all.
Oh, yeah. Are we hugging you now? Yeah. Okay.
I'm good. Nice to meet you.
Her name is Esther, and she's been in the affair. Yeah. 2.5 years. And she didn't want to leave. She started loving not just the community, but also the country.
Oh, right.
Where is she from?
Hungary.
Hungary. Okay.
Go back there. Goodness. And then she tried so hard to get her immigration stuff to work out. That was really so you have to go. We miss her so much. She was amazing, right? She was there for every meditation.
She was, yeah. Except for when she slept in. And I don't know how you can sleep in past 10 o'clock. I just don't understand. But she managed it somehow.
There was one experience of hers that just left me spellbound, and I can share it because she allowed me to share it. So it's the deep blue forward blood of my soul. And she grew up, and her mother was a Hungarian. And for some reason she had no communication for that.
Yeah. We get a chair for you? We get a chair. I mean, you can use the chair that's there, or you can use whichever you prefer. Hey, how are you guys? Doing?
You feel better?
Wait, see you. Hi. Hi. This is my nephew, Saji.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Hey, man. Hey, I'm Rob. Hey, welcome.
Hey.
Hi.
Oh, you did good. Here, Saji. More room for you guys. Here we go.
had one that, like I said, had like ice in it when I was young. This is the beginning of the one.
Thank you. I forgot all about it.
How are you feeling?
I'm great.
Good feeling.
Oh, nice to meet you again.
Nice to meet you. All right. Oh yeah.
Oh, you were? Oh, yeah. Actually, they went today. No, but we were you. Oh. I have no idea. My girlfriend is that she opened. Yeah. I took the police. I have no idea. Okay, yeah. I think I'm going to get out. Oh my God. I'm like, I'm happy now. Yeah. I know it feels really? Where? Oh, yeah. Okay. Are you serious? Yeah. It was a packing thing. Wait, Bruno Mars? Yeah, Bruno. Wait, yesterday? Yes, but another person was singing. Yeah, it's like a tribute. Yeah. Tell me when you go, because I wanted to go, but I didn't have anyone to go with. Because I was the partner. Yes. And I know the other ladies will go.
Oh, good. Yeah. Here comes Jean.
Oh, Jean.
Yeah, he's been here.
You go carpool with me? Honestly, I was looking for people to go with me yesterday. Yes. Like, I thought that there, I don't know myself. But which is fine. Like, I'll go, right?
Yeah, there was I don't know how many ladies were there.
Yeah, I did see a lot of
Good morning. New concept? Yes, new concept. But,
Oh, yeah.
but we got you covered though. Still got a chair for you.
Oh. Oh yeah. What happened? Oh yeah. What happened? No.
Nope, we are low tech this morning. Low tech, no tech. Man.
You're still lecturing, right?
Yeah, we're live. I'm just fine tuning.
How's everybody? I know, this is soft. We're very low tech today.
Turn it around. You're
Are you preparing for like
oh my goodness, you're giving away our secrets.
Unbelievable. I feel very special.
Clean sock.
Thank goodness.
Oh my.
How are you all doing? Doing well? Such a beautiful morning, right? So thank you for coming in. So delighted, so humble, so honored that you should allow me to guide you into meditation today. So we've been discussing for the past few weeks about our chakras, facing all of ourselves, our grace, our light, and our shadows. So have you guys given any thought about this topic? I mean, it's a very relatable topic, isn't it? Or not? Did you think about this or no? I'm really curious. Do you? So I'm hoping that we can have an interactive discussion about it because it's something so relatable. So after my 10-minute talk, we're gonna have an interactive activity where we partner up and discuss some of our shadows with our partners, or one shadow, and see how we plan to resolve it, right? We can try that, and then we'll just go into meditation. Does that make sense? Cool. So last week I was talking that a spiritual warrior does not avoid or bypass their shadows, because the shadows in the way is really the way. It's not avoiding the shadows, detouring from the shadows, but really the shadows in the way is your way. There's no other way. To be spiritually awake, to go on a spiritual path, you sometimes need to go through your shadows because they've been planted there for a reason, for you to grow from, for you to learn from, for you to manage them. So that is why we learn to handle our shadows. The beauty of meditation is that it is a good practice ground for handling all your shadows. It's a training ground, because what happens in meditation spills in your real life, always. That's the beauty of meditation. And I know sometimes it feels, is something even happening? You feel frustrated. But if you want to believe the ancient wisdom, or even the science today, you know there is a lot happening. The first thing is you're regulating your nervous system. That's powerful by itself. Because the nervous system, our nervous system is usually in flight or fight mode. It's always going through, it's triggering an ancient stress alarm system. And when you meditate, when you focus on your breath, or when you're guided in a meditation, your nervous system starts to regulate. It starts to calm down. It starts to say, hey, it's okay. Things are fine. Let's relax. Let's be peaceful. So there's a lot that goes in your meditation. And like I said, in meditation, you get a chance to practice how to manage your shadows. Before I go there, I want to talk to you a little bit about 4 unseen powers that you possess. You actually have them, but they come online and then they go offline. They flicker in and out. You're not able to use them consciously or intentionally because, again, it's not your fault. It's because you run this autopilot, this conditioned behavior that is usually a consequence of your survival mode playing in the background, the fight or flight mode, the just bare minimum mode. And that is why these powers don't really come online. That is your deep wisdom. They come, they go, they flicker in and out. And quickly, those powers are the power of your choice, power of intention, power of self-awareness, power of heartfelt emotions, and power of your faith. Okay, so there are these 4 powers. If you were to use all these powers, if you were to be able to harness these powers, you will be unstoppable. Unstoppable is the word. You will be a very powerful human being. Unfortunately, because we run on autopilot 95% of the time, by the way, 95% of the time we run an autopilot behavior. We're not even aware of how we are reacting, responding, and interacting. How do you interrupt this loop? Because if you interrupted it and you became conscious and you exercised all these powers, you could really change the quality of your life. You could change the coordinates of your life's journey, literally. And so, in meditation, you get to practice all these powers while you're sitting on your meditation cushion. So, for example, the power of choice. Okay? Let's say you decide to observe your breath in this meditation, and you sit down, you close your eyes, you observe your breath, and within seconds, you are gone to a thought. It could be any thought. It could be a fearful thought. It could be a pleasant thought. It could be creating a to-do list thought. And then as soon as you recognize, you say, oh, thinking. And this is a critical moment, you guys. You say, oh, I'm thinking. And then you say, you make a decision. In that fraction of a second, you make a decision. You stop being pulled away by the thought and you come back to your breath. You made a choice. You made a choice in that instant not to run with your thought. So you took the power back in you, not running with a thought, but deciding to come back to your breath. And then in another second, it happens again. You are taken away by another thought. And then you return. Pulled, return. Pulled, return. You do it 100 times even. You do it 50 times even. But you do it every single time. You're exercising a powerful muscle. You are training your psyche to build the power of choice. But you have a choice. You recognize you are in a thought bubble. It's not you're not recognizing it. But you decide not to run with it. So that's the power of choice. Let's take a practical example. So for example, I'm just thinking, you go into a meeting, a kind of very important meeting even, and you see your colleague has claimed your idea as their own at that point. You know, it was your idea. You had worked hard on it, and you were sharing it with your team, and the colleague just ran with it in front of the leaders of the company. And your first reaction is, wait a minute, I'm going to call this out. You feel anger as a sensation, and you feel there's a thought coming. How dare they do that? And you want to call out, hey, that's not fair. But in that moment, you observe your thinking. You observe your thinking. Now you have a choice. You can run with that thought and probably react. You can obey the thought. Oh, I should call out. That's not fair. I should call out. That's a thought, right? So you can choose to obey the thought, or you can choose not to obey the thought. You have that split-second moment. And so maybe you choose not to react. Maybe you want to choose to think it over. So that is how you train your psyche to use power of choice. What is happening here? You acknowledge there is a thought. You didn't repress it. But what you're teaching your psyche, I don't have to obey to every emotional impulse or every thought that I have. You see? So sometimes we think that we have to obey every thought of ours. But that's not needed. You don't have to obey. They're thoughts. So that is something really powerful you learn in your meditation. You build that muscle. I have a conscious choice. I'm going to choosing not to obey my thought. The second power that you have within you is power of heartfelt emotions. Okay? And I want to show you how you practice this in your meditation as well. Think about it. Every time you sit and you get carried away with a thought bubble and you come back, you are building a sense of compassion and patience for your wandering mind, for your restless mind even. You might feel frustrated, but you're transmuting that frustration with a sense of compassion and even friendliness. That is a powerful emotion. You're building patience, heartfelt emotion like compassion, friendliness for yourself. Every time you get carried away, you come back to your breath. Yes, you get frustrated initially, but then you realize this is the practice. And then you start building that patience and that compassion for yourself. That, hey, let me not judge myself. At least I'm trying here. How many people even do this? And so you build this beauty. So you're transmuting your frustration with compassion, with friendliness, with forgiveness, with love for yourself. And this is all happening during your meditation. You're training your psyche how to be, how to use these emotions. And so in real life, when this happens, let's say your mother-in-law criticizes you the way you're raising your kids, okay? And so in that moment, a thought comes up. You just resent her so much for criticizing you. And you think of 10 different ways how you could tell her off. And then in that moment, you recognize that thought. And you also feel a sense of compassion, maybe for her, that she's a grandmother, she loves her grandkids. And maybe this is her way of showing her love. So you transmuted your resentment to forgiveness, to understanding. You still did what you had to do. You created a boundary. You told her, hey, I got this, don't worry. But this time, you did not keep that resentment as poison in your body, because you have transmuted it to an understanding. You see what I'm saying? These are all very subtle things, but Gautam Buddha describes them beautifully. These are all beautiful subtle things, but in the sutras, all of this is laid out so clearly. How your meditation practice is really serving you. And so you're transmuting your emotions, okay? So the third choice is, the third power is, what is it? Power of self-awareness. Okay, that is very interesting in meditation, how it works out, how you build this power. So when you meditate and this thought comes, at some point, if you're a regular meditator, you will notice that your thoughts have patterns in them. They're very patterned up. So for example, I have been talking to my friend about, her health challenges. And I think about that. And then I start thinking about my health. And from there, I start to feel maybe anxious even. So there is a pattern in my thought. And then at some point, you will notice that some of your thoughts are worrying thoughts. Some are replaying yesterday thoughts. Some are insecure patterns. You will recognize your own patterns. And this self-awareness, this choice is going to help you become brutally honest with yourself. You will know when you're lying. You will know when you're choosing convenience over being uncomfortable because you just don't want to lie. You will know when you're people-pleasing to this extent that you want to say no, but you say yes. You will know when you break your word. You will know when you belittle somebody. You will become so brutally honest about your own shadows when you work on self-awareness through your meditation. Okay? And the last is the power of faith. That is amazing. When you meditate, you go inwards. You start connecting to something deeper and bigger than you, your co-creator, your own divinity, the divinity around you. And that kind of starts to help you build on your faith. You also start trusting in the process. You don't know how meditation is working. Oh, I just felt somebody was behind me. So weird sometimes. Yeah, I really did. Wow. Yeah. So anyway, so you start building on your faith as well, because grace enters your life. That is the truth. You know how to handle things gracefully and more elegantly. You may not be perfect, but at least you're aware. You're very self-aware, and you're very intentional, right? And you know how to transmute to a heartfelt emotion. And that is powerful. You see, thoughts are powerful forces. They can create your life, they can destroy your life. Don't you think it's wise to know how you think? Don't you think it's time to control your thoughts in a way that it makes your life so powerful? Or are you just going to continue to let the thoughts run you? It's a choice we have to make. Because if we allow our thoughts to let us run over us, then you're just drifting like a twig in the wind. You have no control over anything. Do you want to choose that, guys? No, right? Because thoughts are powerful forces. Don't think even for a minute the thoughts are just private somewhere inside your head. Your emotions are private. No, no, no. Everything that you're thinking, your emotions, are shaping your nervous system, shaping your physiology, shaping your psychology, shaping your health, your digestion issues, your colon, everything, everything. So do you want to simmer in all of this, or you want to transmute them? You want to work with them? You want to understand it? You want to take your power back? You want to take your power back? So a spiritual warrior is not somebody who is perfect, but they are willing to work on things that are hard, that are uncomfortable. They're always willing. So, I tell myself every morning, well, I try to, bitter or better? You have a choice. You want to stay bitter or you want to be better? Better, of course. My back hurts when I wake up in the morning. Bitter or better? Better. The email that I'm dreading, how do I respond? Bitter or better? You have a choice, guys. And remember, your thoughts, your emotions are creating your life. They can also destroy your life. Meditation is the perfect training ground where you take back your control from your thoughts. You don't obey them when you don't want to. You obey them only when you feel you're ready to obey them. And that's power. And I think that's a really powerful lesson from the sutras that we can learn. And so never think your meditation practice is not working for you. It's always doing the work. The key is to be consistent with it. And same applies to other flavors of meditation. So let's say you're being guided in meditation. Of course, you're going to still travel. You're going to go out somewhere and you're some other thought, and the guidance will bring you back and will ask you to think in a certain way. That's powerful. Now, the guidance is inserting some really powerful thoughts in your mind and your psyche, imprinting something powerful. So that kind of meditation is also does the same job, essentially. Any comments? I know I ran fast.
I really like the way you
We're going to have to end this one. Otherwise, she's going
I really like the perspective of the lens that you explain that in, because I think if more people have heard that about meditation, they wouldn't get as frustrated when their mind travels away and constantly bringing it back. And I've always thought about the power of awareness that it's building, but I hadn't really looked at the other three that you mentioned. Choice, and transmuting, or compassion, and what the last one?
Cafe. Yeah, I hadn't thought about those three, but like, I think it's really profound. I really like the way the choice you made and how you looked at that versus being frustrated and, or most people just get frustrated. Like, so I really love how you did that. Thank you. That actually helps, and I think we should probably write that down and maybe share that, because I think more people that heard that explained that way would give them more patience to be consistent and keep trying and keep working the muscle. What was interesting was when you start talking about like a thought, like when you, because that happens a lot. It goes off. I don't know if you have. Yeah, nothing you can break. You're just like, you're like, I don't, my thoughts don't go anywhere. Like, what? Is that possible? But when I think, so I used to get wrapped up in it, but like, if I, labeling gets a little harder when you just say thought. Because then you want to come back, and you're like, wait, what was I thinking about? Right? And you're like, do I want to go try to figure that out? Because then I'm like going down that path. And so I noticed that I have a harder time being aware of my thought if I just label it a thought. I don't know if anybody else is struggling with that, but if I just say thinking and I go back, I bring myself back, I'm like, wait, what was I thinking about? And how did I get there? And then you want to, but you don't want to go down that path because you're like, oh wait, that's going to get me back on the path here. So anyways, I just noticed that was happening when I don't know if anybody else explained that. Anyway, overall, I just love the way you explained that. So thank you.
You mentioned that when you label it, I felt like maybe you disassociate right from that state, and then you just kind of come back to it. It's harder to go back, right?
Well, I'm curious, because you can also be aware of your patterns, right? So if you do try to be aware of your patterns, then you're like, if I just label it a thought, I'm like, what am I thinking about? What is our pattern? And that I'm getting aware of my day. I'm not going to have hardest time, being aware of that thought.
And I love how you mentioned too how I'm always thinking about the caveat of things, right? Like I don't know why my mind always thinks that way. And I love what you mentioned about like still setting the boundary, but also not letting that resentment sink in, right? And just kind of staying with that. So I really appreciate that. I think that's something that I have a hard time sometimes speaking up when I need to set a boundary, and so it's not my knee-jerk reaction to kind of react to people or call out when someone steals my idea, right? It's just, I think that's a learned behavior I had to gradually do, but not letting it kind of swing and stay with me. So, thanks for sharing. I just say something about, I wanted to respond to that. Thoughts that are very compulsive, you will remember. That you obsess over, that you keep recycling, you will know those patterns. The concept, that's the beauty. See, what you said is so powerful. That's what's so random. They're random stuff, and we think they're the word of God. They're actually so random. You have to listen to all of them. See, you don't even remember them. In seconds, you can't even recall what was a thought. You see what an illusion it is? But some thoughts are very compulsive. Those are the patterns. Those you will remember. Those probably are also your shadows. So, anyway.
So sometimes when it's taking a little longer to kind of center myself into my heart and go down and I've got these thoughts, I will then consciously ask this thought, is there a message for me? Like, why am I thinking of this? And sometimes there is a message, like, yes, it's time to let go. Let it go. And sometimes it's like, yes, you need to have more compassion about this certain situation. So sometimes, like, when your mind is racing and you're like, no, you're not allowed to come in, but you're here, then I talk to it. And sometimes I get answers and messages that I wouldn't have gotten otherwise.
Yes, I know it is.
It's my emergency stop. And this was an emergency. I had no pop filter. So yeah, and then I think just to kind of touch on something I don't think anybody else talked about, but is sort of your point, is what you do on the mat starts to infuse itself into your everyday life, and that's what I've really started to notice that over the last 6-8 months is how much impact the meditation has, and all the practicing I'm doing in meditation, how much it's just like brought itself out into the world in my everyday life. So in my interactions at work, in my interactions, personally, I really find myself like going down that path, and then just realizing like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to feel that. I don't, but like becoming really immediately aware of like the feelings and everything that I'm having that I chose that I said to myself, those aren't productive for me. And and rather than like getting sucked down that path and then like an hour later feeling badly about it, I notice it in real time. And so I think that's one of the most profound things that's happened to me lately. And I think that was like what you were saying was like how you become almost superhuman.
Superhuman. Yes. I just want to quickly give an example of patterns, thoughts which are patterns, and the power of self-awareness, one of your powers that you have intrinsically in you, but it is mostly offline. But when you continue to meditate, it really comes that access to this deeper wisdom really comes online to you, is this power of awareness. When you start to recognize you have some patterns, so for example, which is a very common example, that when we are stressed, we tend to snap at our family. Okay? That's a very common pattern. So you notice, for example, your kid has left the backpack after school, the hallway again, and you've said 100 times, don't do this, I've tripped over it a few times, not hallway, but by the door or whatever. And then before you yell at your kid the next time, you will observe, it's a pattern in me. Every time I'm tired or stressed, I snap at my teenager. So when you become so aware of yourself, you are going to change your energy. The energy you bring into any conversation in your family, in your life, is going to become different. It's going to become different. And that's how you raise your consciousness. You raise your consciousness, going to the heart and to the upper floors, is by these powers. You work with them. And they work together. They work very well together. And you practice it 100 times in your meditation. Of course it's going to spill in your real life. You're training your mental muscle. Right? I'm going to let you speak.
Anyway, how you doing?
That's the topic.
You saying something? Whatever you want.
Put something out here. Here. My first meditation teacher in 2016, Joseph Goldstein, he said, I was frustrated, right, with being able just to sit 10 minutes without my mind wandering. And it was a great rescue. He said, I remember writing this down in my journal, he said, if your mind wanders 1,000 times in a minute, and you bring your mind back to your breath those 1,000 times, then you're doing it right. Oh, then I'm good. I got this. Because it's just...
Yes, that is the practice. The Zen mind, the empty mind, is not empty of thoughts. It's having the capacity and the capability and the control to observe that's a thought and still come back. It's never to get rid of your thoughts. Because thoughts are
manufacture themselves. That's what the mind does. That's the mind's byproduct. It's always going to manufacture thoughts that don't even make sense, that you don't even remember. But as a meditator, controlling your power to become aware of them or not, that's meditation. So that's the practice. That's it. So don't let anybody tell you that it's not working and you're just... But also you're practicing to train your mind to stillness. Because then after some time, you will just observe them like clouds passing by. Instead of being a monkey right now, like the mind is a monkey, it swings from one branch to the other, one thought to the other. You will still this monkey mind much more. So, and then the mind starts to become more subtle. It starts to become more pure. It becomes more still. So, do you guys want to do the activity, or would you just rather jump into meditation? Meditation? Okay. All right. Cool.
What's that? I thought the activity was running down. That looks fun.
That'd be fun. In a sack would be fun. So remember your 4 powers. The power of choice, intention. Every time you go into a meeting or into something important or a conversation, there is a saboteur outside your door that's going to sabotage you and make you run on autopilot. And you choose not to be run by the saboteur. You choose intention. So that is your power of choice. Power of heartfelt emotions. Choosing compassion, choosing understanding. Not because you're doing something very selfless, but because it works. That you don't create that poison in your digestive system, for example. You don't want that stuff in you. You don't want it. You want to transmute all resentment, all jealousy as quickly as possible, because it's going to impact your physiology, your psychology. It's not worth it. And then the third is power of self-awareness, noticing your patterns. When do you react? What is a trigger that makes you react in a way that you're not proud of later on? And the fourth is the power of faith, how grace enters your life, choosing to trust the process. Okay? So these are your 4 powers. Okay. So we're going to meditate. The meditation is, you focus on our breath. Obviously. And then if a thought bubble comes, as soon as you recognize, you call it thinking, and you return to your breath. And that's it. All right? Close your eyes. Sit straight. Sit tall. And bring your attention to your breath.
exhale then the passage of your breath. The in-breath, the pause, the out-breath, pause, in-breath, pause,
And then you're ready. When you open your eyes, to love, light, and letting go. Namaste. How is it? Have you meditated before? Okay. But do you practice observing the breath meditation or? Right. I'm sorry?
I usually do more active stuff, so I used to run a lot,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah. I'm glad you're here. Yeah. Well, anyway, guys, how was it? How was the meditation? I just want one thing to be clear. Anytime you linger in your thoughts is not meditation. Okay? Lingering in your thoughts is well, you linger as soon as if you're not aware, then that's okay. But if you're aware that you're thinking and you still say, I'm just going to linger here because I want to do whatever, then that changes into contemplation. Meditation is very clear. The minute you recognize you're in a thought bubble, you come back to your breath. It's training your mind. So it's never lingering. That's contemplation. That's a different exercise, self-reflection. But meditation is all about training the mind not to run away with the thoughts. Okay? So I just want to be clear about that.
After your explanation of that, it's changed this meditation for me. Just the way I went into it was different. Oftentimes I'm like trying to there's a little bit of a control thing or a tension thing, and then this time I just kind of went into it and like, I'll just bring it up. And just looking at it from a perspective of like I was still exercising my choice, that is actually, it took the pressure off. And I was actually, instead of like, sometimes I spoke to my breath, but I was actually a lot more playful. I actually used another representation of the breath. It was just a lot more relaxed. So thank you. That was a really good way to look at it.
Okay, but I'll...
Okay, so we'll say bye to the online folks now. Bye. Thank you for joining. Okay, cool. I hope you guys are aware you're also